Ventuz is a real-time motion graphics system with an emphasis on data. This gives Ventuz the flexibility to easily make modifications to your graphics and have the changes applied instantly. Data is the key in Ventuz. You can transport your complex data in graphically appealing ways and react to changes or inputs of any kind flexibly and in real time. Ventuz software is used in various markets to produce astonishing graphics that must be rendered in real time, such as broadcast, Pro AV experiential design, and live events. In broadcast, Ventuz is used for all typical shows requiring live changes to graphics, such as channel branding, sports graphics, news and game shows, and studio displays and video walls, as well as virtual sets and mixed reality. In the professional audio-visual market, Ventuz is used from high-end digital signage to live events in corporate presentations. Its remarkable data management tools and how simple it is to turn this data into beautiful graphics makes Ventuz the perfect solution for any event or installation that must present substantial amounts of data in a way that is both captivating and attractive. The ability to design and produce amazing experiences is another key market for Ventuz. Flexibility in design allows for the creation of anything from serving huge megapixel displays to small interactive kiosks for arenas, trade shows, museums, flagship retail stores, corporate headquarters, and more. With our wide support for control devices and expandability, Ventuz brings the tools to create world-class experiences for theme parks, exhibitions, and location-based entertainment. Ventuz is commonly used for both sports graphics and in sports arenas, both of which are common requirements of many esports events. The openness of Ventuz provides many ways to retrieve both in-game graphics and game data to be integrated and displayed on-site, on-air, or distributed as streamed video content. The Ventuz software can be freely downloaded from our website, ventuz.com. The installation process is simple. Just run the installer on a Windows PC and follow the on-screen instructions. After you have successfully completed the software installation, you'll find the Ventuz launcher in your Start menu. It's great to browse and organize your projects, manage your licenses, and configure your system. Ventuz Designer is the main application, and the one that will be covered the most in future tutorials. The Designer is an application that allows you to create your graphics layout and structure, connect to external data sources and control devices, and program your graphics' internal logic all in a visual node-based graphical interface. The Designer software includes a comprehensive contextual help system that can be accessed from within the application by pressing the F1 key while hovering over any node. You not only gain access to the user manual, but you also load fully documented Ventuz scenes with interactive examples of how to use that feature specifically. Furthermore, these scenes are not only demonstrating the functionality, but they are completely open so that you can reuse parts of them as a guide to achieve your own desired result. You don't need to have a copy of Ventuz installed on your computer to check the user manual. We always feature a copy of our latest user manual on our website, ventuz.com. Ventuz Runtime is the foundation for all other Ventuz products and is the engine that renders your graphics in real time. The runtime scales to drive graphics on extremely large, pixel-dense displays, including mixed resolutions and pixel pitches, by leveraging distributed rendering across machine clusters and extracting maximum performance from your hardware. Ventuz Director is our control application that enables the control of many runtime systems from a simple and streamlined user interface. It also offers advanced functionality such as making last-minute changes to your graphics, text, creating playlists, or triggering different graphics independently as the show is running live. In Ventuz 8, we introduced the Ventuz Launcher, which combines all important tools into one application, so it's easier than ever to manage your projects, configure your machines, make live changes to the runtime, and much more. The Ventuz Configuration Editor is the application you use to set up many of the parameters that will affect your project. Its most important function is that it contains the settings to configure your machine's inputs and outputs for both audio and video. It is accompanied by the Render Setup Editor, which allows for precise mapping of each individual output. This includes controls for overlap areas and bezel correction, as well as warping to adjust your output screen geometry. The last important application is also integrated into the launcher, the Ventuz License Manager. This is the tool used to install and control your licenses. Recently, we added a short and easy way to get our free community license. Simply open the License Manager inside the launcher and use this button to get started. Ventuz Studio is a convenient package that bundles the Ventuz main applications, Designer, Director, and Runtime, into a single license that provides you with all of the tools needed to create projects from start to finish. The free Ventuz Community License includes most of the Ventuz functionality, with a few limitations like a maximum output resolution of 4K, a limited number of nodes that is still big enough for your first small projects, and a tidy, configurable watermark for rendered outputs. Furthermore, projects and scenes created using the free Community Edition can be saved and used with any of the other commercial products. Our Core Edition will take you a step further. This edition is fully featured without a node limit or watermark, but with a maximum output resolution limit of 4K. The Core Edition is also available as runtime only to allow the long-term deployment of projects that need to run independently from your studio license. The Ventuz Enterprise Edition is our tier, without any restrictions in terms of functionality, and allows you to use the full force of Ventuz in your projects with very advanced requirements. Enterprise Edition is available as individual products, Designer, Runtime, or Director, or as a full suite with the Studio package including all three. Finally, there is the Ventuz Prototyping and Learning Edition. This version is meant only for testing, evaluation, and learning. The PLE edition includes all the functionality like Enterprise, but it presents a large obtrusive watermark on all the rendered outputs. Additionally, projects created using the Prototyping and Learning Edition are not compatible with any other editions, so you cannot use it for production, as opposed to the free Community Edition. Ventuz features a comprehensive set of tools. However, some functionality is so specialized for a specific workflow that we decided it would be better to separate these into additional packages, all of which can be optionally added to the Enterprise Edition. All these additional features are based around inputs and video outputs. Ventuz currently supports SDI input and output hardware for both fill and key for various vendors such as DeltaCast, Aja, Blackmagic Design, and DataPath. Nonetheless, we decided to pack some additional features as optional broadcast packages, or the ability to use more than one GPU per machine, extended support for professional broadcast codecs, and camera tracking integration with systems from NCAM, Stipe, Mosey's, and Trackman. Finally, Ventuz integrates with broadcast newsroom systems like Avid, iNews, APENPS, Octopus, or Open Media using the MOS protocol, all of which require an additional package and support. If you need additional information about these advanced features, please contact our Ventuz sales team via sales@ventuz.com. At Ventuz, we never charge extra for video inputs, so you can work with as many video sources as your hardware can handle. Talking about video outputs, the Core and Enterprise Ventuz editions support as many physical video outputs as are supported by your graphics card. It is also possible to mix and match different types of outputs like SDI, NDI, or stream out and still be in sync. We are also capable of handling up to 4 GPUs per machine since Ventuz 7. You can check the link to our webpage in the video description below to learn more about the different licenses and editions in greater detail. One of Ventuz's key features is the capability to run on a cluster of machines. In a cluster, every machine loads the same Ventuz scene. With the help of the render setup, every machine decides which part of the scene it must render. The basic rendering synchronization between Ventuz machines is achieved via our cluster clock component. The cluster clock mechanic synchronizes each machine of your video wall setup's frame perfectly, so you can scale your content to virtually infinitely many pixels by combining as many rendering machines as necessary. Additionally, Ventuz provides mechanics to sync incoming real-time data before processing it, for example, with a deterministic particle system. Nonetheless, we advise using a sync board to match your outputs frame perfectly, updating each screen at the exact same time on each machine. This section is not meant to be a comprehensive description of the hardware required to run Ventuz, but rather a brief introduction to what you will need to run it comfortably. For more recent and detailed information, we strongly suggest that you check our user's manual. A link is in the description below. Being a real-time render engine, the most important hardware component for Ventuz is the GPU. We currently support both NVIDIA and AMD graphics hardware. Although consumer-level gaming boards can work with Ventuz, we strongly recommend using professional-grade hardware like the NVIDIA Quadro or AMD Radeon Pro product lines. Note that syncing those outputs via a sync board is only possible with NVIDIA cards. When it comes to choosing a processor, the recommendations are like what we would recommend for GPUs. Ventuz can run on consumer-grade CPUs without a problem by using AMD or Intel. But we strongly recommend processors with higher clock speeds and lower core count. Memory is another crucial component for Ventuz, especially when dealing with large sets of data or high-resolution textures. For memory, more is always better. Although it has an advanced management of dynamically loaded assets, faster memory and larger capacity will all benefit Ventuz in terms of performance. Just check what your processor and motherboard support and choose an ideal configuration. However, as a minimum, we would recommend 16 GB of RAM. Storage is also important for certain Ventuz projects, especially when dealing with large numbers of huge assets like high-resolution video clips. In general, we recommend solid-state storage. SSDs or NVMe drives are highly recommended for their high data throughput. For larger cluster configurations, we are happy to assist finding the best hardware for your project. Just contact us via sales@ventuz.com. Now that you have learned the very basics about what Ventuz is, we hope that you will download our software and begin your very own content creation journey. Follow the rest of this tutorial series to get started quickly and find your way into your first production-ready projects. Please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, as we will be regularly updating it with new content, and join us on Discord.